folks at home almost didn't even get the show. If
I got those 9 minutes.
If you got those 9 minutes of you talking about hut challenges. I just smashed that record button. You know what that means? That of course means that we're live. This is the Shoot Brothers Wrestling Podcast. You know, this is the only wrestling podcast online which is hosted by myself, Cameron Osborne, and my co-host, Mike the Shoot Shepherd.
At first, I was afraid.
He was petrified.
Folks.
Because
it's Survivor Series. I will survive.
Oh, that's where you were going.
That's where I was going. See, if we had the licensing to have real music, that's what we'd lead the show in with.
Yeah, I think you're allowed.
Gloria Gaynor.
I think you're allowed to put real music in a podcast form that would eventually be uploaded to Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whatever. But it's the YouTube transition that would block.
Yeah. And they would just auto.
Yeah, they would have something. You know what? That happened. I put a video on Instagram one time, and it was like an edited video. So I used a clean recording of, The Power of Love, that track from Back to the Future, of course.
Of course.
And it was funny. Like they Instagram took down the video very, very quickly within a minute, but they took it down because the song violated the copyrights, right? Pretty much it violated the copyright in every country, except for the terrible ones, except for the ones where people are getting stoned and stuff like that. But I had other audio over top, and I guess the algorithm was still enough that I had to go back into the video and just I had to keep turning the song down until Instagram didn't catch it anymore. It may have happened 2 or 3 times until it actually worked.
That's funny because I had something happen. I put there was like a video on Instagram. I put it on Instagram and it was fine. It was like a song playing in the background. I was dancing, and then I put the same video on Facebook, and instantly Facebook just disabled the audio. The video was still there, but it's like, can't use this track. I've never had Facebook disable anything, but it disabled.
Which it's also, I'm pretty sure they're owned by Instagram is owned by Facebook.
Yeah,
so you would.
But
think
that Instagram video is still fine. It's still up there. It's never got flagged, but Facebook just instant.
Some kind of licensing thing. I don't know. So
and I've had YouTube videos get tagged before as well within 5 seconds of uploading them. So just don't use it on YouTube anymore.
Just don't use it on YouTube, folks. Folks, that's what we're saying is don't put out copyrighted infringement material. If you're going to watch Survivor Series and War Games, go on the WWE Network.
Yes.
Give Vince McMahon $10 a month.
Yeah, he needs it.
He needs it.
So anyways, we had War Games, we had Survivor Series, all hell's breaking loose. Review. Even just a few days before, fucking Adam Cole had to do a ladder match, and he won. He's on a tear.
He's had a crazy week and a half.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
Yeah, he's just been wrestling 4 times a week.
Worked. He's on the SmackDown, or he's on the Fox SmackDown post show. He's popping up there all the time. He's just the hottest guy in the company right now. Yeah.
So let's just get right into NXT War Games there.
NXT War Games number. This is the third kind of in the revived War Games thing.
Yeah. So the pre-show, Mia Yim was attacked backstage, so her spot in War Games is not looking good. And then there was this. I think this might be the first ever pre-show match for NXT. I don't remember the takeovers ever having a match.
Well, they never did because they would have been filming.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Other matches,
weekly episodes,
right? So this is actually the first pre-show.
Pre-show, yeah. And
so you were all over it, right? Because it's pre-show action. Mike, you're all over it.
Well, I give them the respect. So Angel Garza versus Isaiah Swerve Scott. 2 hot up-and-comers, been doing well on NXT TV lately. But, it was a decent match. A couple fun spots. Garza gets the win with his Angel Clippers finisher, which is a cool-looking move. And then backstage, we get an update on Mia. She's loaded into the ambulance, so they need a replacement. And Rhea Ripley tells Dakota Kai that she's in. So there you go.
And that was the pre-show. Now that was the pre-show. That's the pre-show. Let's just kick off the action. We're kicking off the action. This is War Games here. For those of you who don't know what's going on, there is so we're gonna have a couple teams coming down, and they're gonna enter the ring in time intervals. There are 2 rings side by side.
Surrounded by a double wide cage.
By a double wide cage. However, contrary to other cage matches, if you escape the cage, you actually forfeit the match.
Yeah,
Like you
for your whole
lose.
team.
Your whole
The whole
team would
team's
lose.
fucked.
The only way you can have a win is by pinfall or submission. And of course, the War Games does not begin until every single competitor is in the ring. So
that's why we did the whole past few weeks. We were doing those matches for the advantage because the first team has 2-on-1 basically.
2-on-1, and then a 3-on-2, and then a 4-on-3.
Yeah.
So those advantage matches are really important.
Well, it turns
Oh my
out
God.
we didn't even get a fucking 4-on-3 or anything because the big story was Dakota Kai just turning heel on her team when she's supposed to come out. She injures her partner Tegan Knox, just starts smashing the cage into her leg and shit. So
Wow.
that's 2 people gone. So we got 4 versus 2 right now. Ripley and Candice fighting from underneath. And
First off, before you keep moving, that was a huge turn. That was
Dakota. I got swerved.
I got swerved. I was watching it. I wasn't watching it live. I was out of the house that night. I watched it the next day, and when you're kind of you're watching wrestling, and maybe this is a WWE thing, or maybe this is a me thing. Like I'm watching WWE, and I'm kind of like, okay, I don't have to necessarily pay attention right now, or like what you're eating food or something. You're kind of looking down at your plate. Like I had to rewind. What the fuck just happened? What a turn! It got me. It swerved you.
Yeah, it was good. Good heat from the crowd.
Huge.
And before a lot of the women, before they got in the ring, we got some trash cans, chairs, kendo sticks, and Kaylee, right? They were just tossing these trash cans right in each other's face. It was great. Near the end, Candice hits a poison run off the top rope, and then fucking Io Shirai climbs up to the top of the cage, hits a moonsault off the top of the cage. So that kills like half the people in the match. Shayna Baszler pulls out some handcuffs and puts them on Rhea, but she only gets one hand locked in, and then later on Ripley attaches the other cuff to Shayna, which leads to a really cool ending sequence where Shayna goes for a kick, Rhea ducks, and since the cuffed hands just naturally has her in position for that pump handle bomb, and she delivers it onto some seated chairs and gets the pin. So amazing match. These women worked hard.
Incredible match. And for those folks at home, if you don't know or did not know who Rhea Ripley is, she's
breakout
the future of the women and the women in NXT. Every single woman in this match was so strong.
I didn't even mention Bianca Belair and fucking everyone. Everyone was doing their shit.
This was an incredible match all over the place. I think you did already mention that poison run off the second rope. That was huge. That was huge. Awesome. Like I'm standing out of my chair. Like this was an incredible match for and this is the first ever women's War Games match, right? And I think it could not have gone any better. Even with the result, of course, Rhea Ripley is now pinned Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, which doesn't happen once a year.
That happens once a year.
She's definitely got to be in line for that title shot. The next, whatever.
I mean, I think our next takeover would be at the Rumble in February.
Well, so they've said that's going to be the Worlds Collide event, but it's just going to be NXT versus NXT UK or something. So. And then in February,
they really like this interbrand shit, eh?
Well, apparently they're switching takeovers to Sunday now, and it's gonna be separate from WWE, so not the same weekends anymore. So,
okay, that's interesting. That's kind of cool. I mean, it lets them keep Sunday as their day for pay-per-views instead of it being the whole weekend. I mean, I'd say a bit of a bummer for fans. I think our SummerSlam weekend that's what it was. That's exactly. It was the weekend. It was the Saturday night takeover. It was the Friday, the Sunday.
Yeah, I imagine. Well, maybe sure WrestleMania weekend they'll probably still do.
Or I was going to say on the other side, maybe that is great for us because suddenly, these pay-per-views are happening in twice as many places. It's not just if a pay-per-view's in Phoenix or one of the big 4 pay-per-views in Phoenix, it's not because if they want to keep up with AEW, maybe NXT will be adding more pay-per-views now that they are really their own thing now. I think certainly going to TV and the last month on television has really shown us that they are their own shit. I mean, we've known this forever,
Yeah, we'll see how it shakes out. And even now, just being on live TV, they can do more things weekly, without spoilers leaking out or have big title matches, shit like that. So
yeah, you're right. I mean, anytime a title match would have happened on NXT television, it had already happened.
Yeah, and they did do those title changes and shit like that. They would try to fool the crowd sometimes, but yeah. Anyways,
but sometimes it would happen. And Yeah, which was great. Fantastic. Love this match.
Yes, good job, ladies. Okay.
What do we have coming up next? We have just a triple threat match. We have Pete Dunne, Damian Priest, and Killian Dane. Winner of this match will get a title opportunity the next night at Survivor Series.
Yeah. This was just another fantastic match. I remember there's just one spot where everyone's just kicking each other over and over. Then all three men hit drop kick at the exact same time, and they just fall down.
Yeah, they had a couple. They had some great sequences of just those three guys. One hits one, the other hits the other, the other hits the other. It just kind of goes around in a circle, which is always gonna. It's always gonna be fun for the crowd, I think.
Yeah. Priest had he had some like Razor Ramon inspired gear on, and he hit that Razor's Edge on Killian Dane, which got a big pop.
Damian Priest is a big motherfucker. That's also something I realized.
Tall. He's very tall.
When he was standing, or around Pete Dunne, and a shorter guy, and Killian Dane, a wider guy, and you're like, oh shit, you're comparable.
And did you see? I'm pretty sure Killian Dane hit a one-winged angel at one point on Priest, but I don't know what he calls it. But it was definitely the same move, I think.
I think I may have missed that.
Yeah, but he kicked out. Eventually, the finish comes when Dunne, he hits the bitter end on Priest. Dane tries to get Dunne in the one-winged angel again, but Dunne reverses it into a sleeper. Dane jumps onto Priest. Dunne covers him to get the 3 and the title shot. Yeah, just a really good match.
And the title shot the next night, maybe it went a little bit long. It kind of it peaked at a few times. But of course, after the match we just saw, how do you follow that? You kind of have to, how do you follow a match like that?
Well,
it's tough.
They got the Bro versus Finn Balor.
Finn Balor's first match back on NXT since 2016 or something, I guess. So he's back with some tattoos, baby.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just on his hand, but very minimal. And there's something else I don't know. He had a couple very small, tiny tattoos.
He's back with tats.
Yeah. Matt Riddle, he's got his nice mushroom thing on his ribs.
Always.
Whatever. Yeah. So Riddle versus Balor here. Riddle, of course, he has to hit the spear into Jackhammer, which everyone loves. Good back and forth match, but eventually Balor hits the 1916, which is great looking. Basically just a big brain buster, and he gets the win.
He gets it after the win, I think at one point, Matt Riddle did the classic, I think Finn Balor was going up for the coup de grace, and then, Matt Riddle jumped out of the way, as usually happens. I think maybe we're done with the coup de grace. He didn't hit it, and then I don't think we've seen a non-coup de grace finisher from Finn Balor ever. I can't picture that.
He's used this move before, but yeah, I think it's a good looking move. It can be used as a finisher, so stick with it. Why not?
Yeah, definitely. Why not? I mean, and I don't like Finn Balor. I don't think Finn Balor's finisher is exciting enough. At least this is a little more exciting.
Yeah, why not? So stick with it, Finn. You've heard it.
Is Finn Balor in a so he gets his first big win match. Where's he coming next?
I don't know. He could I don't know, either North American title or something, maybe. Go after Roddy.
I
don't know what he wants.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I also I never noticed, maybe you noticed before, Mauro Ranallo, when Matt Riddle does the go to sleep, he calls it the bro to sleep.
Oh yeah.
Have you noticed? I didn't notice that before before Saturday.
Yeah. No, he's been doing that for a little while, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, even more appropriate in Chicago.
Exactly.
But
main event time.
Main event. We have the men's War Games match here. But we still don't know. It's there's still no fourth partner for the Team Ciampa. So at the beginning, at least. So we've only got 4 versus 3. But we do eventually find out that it's returning Kevin Owens coming back for just at least one night here.
That was a huge pop. I was not expecting.
I
was not expecting Kevin Owens to come in.
Yeah, and fucking at one point he teases that package pile driver like he's gonna hit him.
Been so cool
onto the steel between the ropes, but no. Adam Cole gets out, But then he hits Owens with a Panama Sunrise onto the steel. So if they let him do that, just let him hit the package pile driver.
You know what? That looked. I was about to say. I think that one
he took it pretty hard on the head. It seemed.
I was gonna say. I think that one's more painful for Adam Cole. It really looks like you land on your tailbone.
Yeah, but that's not the only punishment he would take. Eventually, we get a bunch of tables set up in the ring. So there's like 4 or 5 tables. Everyone's going through spots at once. Dominic choke slams through one. Owens does a frog splash through another. Keith Lee does a powerbomb off the top rope through the next. And then we got Ciampa and Cole, who have both ascended to the top of the cage. Ciampa grabs Cole, and it's a little scary up there. He's holding onto the chain.
Holding onto the chain.
That's not a stable chain. It's like moving back and forth. Cole's hanging on him for dear life, and then Ciampa hits a fucking air raid off the cage through 2 tables. Probably the spot of the year, the most insane. Just the angle that you come down, the way Ciampa had to protect him on that move. That was crazy.
There's a lot there.
Yeah, and that's enough for Ciampa to get the 3 count. And they show Britt Baker in the crowd looking concerned, and Mauro Ranallo even points her out by name, which is very interesting.
Points her up by name. Newsflash on that one, though. I did actually hear some news on that. So apparently the NXT cameraman did not know who Britt Baker was, did not know what she looked like, did not know that she works for another company. So just kind of held it on her because she was an emotional, good-looking wrestling fan. Of course,
Mauro Ranallo did take the initiative to say, "Hey, Britt Baker."
If you are though curious though, for those at home, Triple H reached out to Britt Baker after NXT War Games and told her that you were on the show because of your reaction. Nobody knew who you were. I'm so sorry, and he really hopes this doesn't bring Britt Baker any heat. And loves what she's doing in her own work. So there you have it.
Yeah.
I had to interject that. I'm glad you caught that too, because I caught that, and I'm like, no way.
Either way, yeah, a concerned girlfriend.
I think it happened. I feel like it happened another time also.
She was there before, but I think she was just they didn't focus on her. She was just in the front row, and they kind of caught her on camera or something.
Yeah, they
didn't acknowledge her.
That's got to be awkward, right? I feel like there's gonna have to be a thing like the Hall of Fame night or something.
There's a couple, there's a couple cross dating.
Did you see? This was on CM Punk's first episode on the I forgot what the show's called. Backstage. They're talking about Seth Rollins, of course, right? And talking about Roman Reigns. And Renee mentions, those guys in the Shield who started with you, or those you started with Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and then CM Punk just interrupts her like, those guys in the Shield, like which one's your favorite? And Renee just kind of laughs and shrugs to the camera. She's like, I like them all. It was a great moment. I'm glad it's happening. I'm glad it's happening forever.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, there you have it. Sorry, that was a little bit in the middle. Yeah, Adam Cole's last 2 pay-per-views have ended with him smashing through 2 tables.
Yeah, just dying off the top.
Just dying. Nobody is working harder than Adam Cole. Nobody is more over than Adam Cole.
Then he has to wrestle the very next night.
Between this, he's probably filming doing some kind of charity event in the middle. Filming some kind of interview. I saw him on
24/7 special.
Yeah, he was on the WWE's Instagram. They're promoting the Black Friday sale. Pay that man. I don't know how much he's getting paid.
Buy some merch.
I don't know how much he's getting paid, but pay him, please.
Yeah, pay the man.
Oh, man. And that was our main event to what is probably the third straight fantastic War Games pay-per-view.
Yeah, well, there's never been a bad takeover, so
I can't say
some are better than others, but never been a bad show.
And it's hard, I feel like we're leaving every takeover asking ourselves, was this the best takeover ever? 5, even on tonight's card, 5 matches. I give 2 of them fucking A+.
Yeah, both War Games matches.
I guess 4 matches.
Triple threat match was great.
4 matches, right? If you don't count the pre-show.
Yeah, no, everything did well. Did more than well. Did a whole fucking ocean. Yeah.
There you have it. That was our takeover. Our takeover War Games. Should we just keep rolling on through?
Yeah, let's just keep going because that was the Civil War. Now we've got the World War, I guess.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you're doing. You're sticking with it.
Yeah, so who's going to survive the series of matches here? We've got a couple unannounced matches they threw on the pre-show, the tag team interbrand battle royal. It just ended up coming down to Heavy Machinery, Street Profits, the crowd favorites, but Rude and Ziggler ended up getting the win. So that counts as a point for...
It's a pre-show point?
It's a pre-show point, but it counts for the whole score. I don't even remember what team Rude and Ziggler are on. SmackDown, Raw.
I'm gonna say they're on SmackDown.
But yeah, so that's the thing. They didn't. Thankfully, they didn't all have the stupid T-shirts.
Oh, I was so thankful. Like that's my worst.
Like
That's the worst part about Survivor Series.
Yeah. Some teams, like, they'd wear the blue color, or they had armbands.
Just wear the color. Don't wear the whole thing. I remember there was I think it was maybe 2 Survivor Series ago when it was Triple H is on Team Raw, but he's still wearing his Triple H gear, so now he just looks like he's
he's the only one. Yeah.
He's the only one, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing?
They're like, hey, Trips, can I take my? No, you gotta win.
It's like we know who you are. If you're 2 people fighting, we'll figure it out.
Everyone knows, but. Anyways, we get another bonus match. Lio Rush defending his cruiserweight title against Kalisto and Tozawa. So, this was actually a pretty good match. Crowd got into it by the end, but Lio Rush hits his final hour frog splash to retain his title and get a point from NXT.
I noticed they're calling it the NXT Cruiserweight Championship now.
Yeah, so hopefully...
I heard some shit
that's
also.
For the best.
I also heard something last week that last week's 205 Live, they kind of at a last minute decided not to air it. It was something that was airing exclusively on the network, and maybe the day before they just decided they were going to scrap that week's episode. So maybe a sign of things to come.
Yeah, it's for the best to just absolve the roster into NXT, and Lio Rush has been doing well, so... and just kind of include them there. If you want to keep guys like Tozawa or Kalisto on the main roster, sure, but maybe ship them down where they can at least kind of compete for that thing. Yeah.
But then, but see, the weird thing about moving that cruiserweight over to NXT, I think, is that I feel as though all of NXT's top dudes are all under 205 pounds, like all in that same category, right? Like Adam Cole, Finn Balor, Ciampa. Johnny Gargano, short of Matt Riddle, who's a big tall dude, or Keith Lee, who's just 300 something. That would be a weird kind of thing.
Yeah, and I mean they could if they wanted to do that to try and elevate the title or something. But
yeah, you put that thing on Finn Balor.
You never know. But then the main event of the pre-show.
Still the pre-show. Don't start calling it the main.
I know.
No.
Well, I mean, this was the best match of the pre-show. We had the Viking Raiders versus the New Day versus the Undisputed Era, the battle of the tag team champions. This ended up being really fun match. All 3 teams looked good, but the Viking Raiders stood out the most, and they ended up getting the win with the Viking experience. And I thought it was kind of funny on the New Day. They were wearing black armbands with XW on it for Xavier Woods.
Yep.
Like he was dying or something.
Like they're like fighting.
Like it's his torn Achilles. He's not fucking.
R.I.P. Xavier Woods. Hey man, you tear an Achilles. It's a tough injury. That's a hard one to come back from.
I mean, he's got a lot of time to play video games. He loves that shit. So.
Yeah. We should keep an eye on the up down down championship. I'm sure that belt's going to be making the rounds like the tweet of the week championship.
Yeah, but let's go on to the main show here.
Main show time.
And we start right off with a Survivor Series, the women's traditional Survivor Series match. NXT women, they got some good shine here. Bianca Belair looked great. Picked up a couple of eliminations.
This one was a bit weird for me, right? Because wasn't Bianca Belair on the other team?
Yeah, so they kind of did a promo the night before, like Rhea Ripley after. She was like, I was impressed with Bianca and Io, so they're on my team. And Candice was my buddy, so she's on the team. And Toni Storm, I know her from the UK, so she's on my team.
Okay, I must have missed the little promo, but yeah, that was a little weird.
Yeah, so anyways, that's why we had that. Kairi Sane and Io Shirai had a standoff. Crowd was super into that, but Kairi got eliminated early on, which pissed off some people, including Asuka. And then her and Charlotte get mad at each other, so Asuka sprays Charlotte with the green mist, and that allows Lacey Evans to hit the woman's right, picking up a big elimination on Charlotte. And then Asuka just walks off, bailing on her team. So that's another elimination for SmackDown, or another member eliminated. And then at one point, Io Shirai and Candice get taken out of the match, and we don't even really see what happened. Like, I don't know. Did you see how they got hurt?
No.
Allegedly?
I didn't see anything.
They didn't even show a replay. So they just they're hurt. They get taken out. So eventually it comes down. Natalya's the last member of Raw. Sasha Banks, the last member of SmackDown. And Rhea Ripley, the last of NXT. So Sasha and Natty look like they're going to team up. And then the boss turns on her, eliminates her. So it's down to Banks and Ripley as the final two. And then Io and Candice come back out. But they're not like officially back in the match, I guess. But anyways, they help Ripley. They hit like a drop kick. And Rhea Ripley hits the Riptide on Sasha Banks to pick up the big win for Team NXT. So another big night for Ripley, just looking like a star. Good win.
Yeah, maybe it was an angle.
Yeah, like I didn't think it was a real injury, but like it was weird that they didn't catch the spot, or I don't know, but whatever. Anyways,
I think I can't remember. We did mention one team last week, and it was just they were just going to lose by imploding. And maybe that's what ended up happening to this Raw women's team. The best way to book it is just have them hate each other, and then the other team can figure it out, making the NXT women look super strong in the process.
Yeah, like even the ones that were eliminated looked good there with Bianca Belair, and Io and Candice didn't even get pinned. So whatever. I guess Toni Storm got the least amount in this match, but even still, she had a little bit going.
Why not?
But anyways, moving on to your most hyped match.
I was hyped.
I believe you said. And it was, Nakamura versus Roddy Strong versus AJ Styles. But the biggest travesty was during Roddy's entrance. Did you catch this? When he's in the ring, he's ready, the crowd's pumped up, and right when he's about to do the boom, they cut the music off as the next guy comes out.
Oh, really?
And the whole crowd was like, oh, and then Roddy's face was like, what?
You stopped the boom. Well,
like they literally, right before the boom.
You think Fit Finlay has ever watched a takeover? He doesn't know what the fuck's going on. It's like the song's just still going. Okay, James.
It was so funny. The way the crowd reacted, it was just like, oh. But anyways, the match itself ended up delivering. Great wrestling all around, all three guys. Sami Zayn, I loved in this match. I like him. I'm liking him more in this.
So is he just like permanently injured now, or what's going on with
I don't know, but just like, he's pulling Nakamura out of the ring to recover, fanning him off with his hat and shit. I love it. But I would like to see him wrestle too if he's not hurt. So I don't know.
I think Sami Zayn's kind of got the dream job right now, right? He worked really hard and really physically for the first, 10 years, 15 years of your life. Yeah. And now you just kind of get paid.
Yeah, he's hanging
out. Hang out, yeah.
He doesn't have to go to the Saudi Arabia shows.
He's literally not allowed to go to Saudi Arabia.
He has a built-in excuse.
He doesn't have to say like, "Oh, sorry, boss, like I'm sick."
Yeah,
he's like,
no.
Just
like, hey, Sammy, sit this one out, pal. He's like, all right.
It's illegal for me to go there. They will kill me.
Yeah. But eventually, Nakamura and AJ are battling in the ring. AJ hits the phenomenal forearm, but Roddy comes in, tosses AJ out, steals the pin, gets the win. So another win for NXT. I don't know what the score is, but good for Roddy.
I guess it's 2 or no, 3.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. I know what I have the final score.
Does it matter? Probably not. Hey man, this was real exciting. I guess I should have figured out that this would probably end up being a shorter match, because of course the other matches are gonna be super long. We have some title matches on the line too that we need to get to, but this delivered.
Yes. Yeah, no, this is good. But our first title match of the night, Adam Cole taking on Pete Dunne.
I just don't get why. Like, I don't get why this was kind of included.
I think because Raw had their heavyweight title and SmackDown had their heavyweight title, so NXT should have their heavyweight title.
Okay.
Every other title.
That's good enough. I buy it. I do remember thinking like, fuck, man, all these, the entire NXT roster is pulling double duty.
Well, I wouldn't complain because this was an amazing match. This was my match of the night, I think. Cole versus Dunne here.
Perfect.
Cole. Just the hot streak continues. Mm-hmm. Both men working with injuries. Cole had his ribs taped up and his wrist is still fucked up. Dunne had his knee taped up, but
all taped up. The Panama Sunrise on the apron. That was
that was crazy.
Huge bump.
We had Dunne going for a moonsault and Cole super kicks him in the head midair. So that was another fucked up spot. But eventually, Pete Dunne goes for his finisher, but Cole's able to reverse it midair into a Panama Sunrise. Then he hits that last shot to pick up the win and retain his title. Awesome match.
It's hot. It's fun to see. It's fun to see Panama.
Yeah, crowd was hot for it, man. They were all over this match.
Oh, of course, right? It's just not the type of match you see in a normal, Raw ring or SmackDown ring. It's just it's not the type of bout you're gonna see, and these two guys are gonna bring it every single time.
Yeah, and the crowd knows, man. Even the people who didn't know over the last few weeks, they know who Adam Cole is now, and he's definitely.
Yeah, I don't know how you don't know who Adam Cole is, but apparently there's some people out there.
And his father, Michael Cole, was calling the match.
That sign was the best sign. I don't remember what it said, but it was just like it was something
along.
It was something about Michael Cole being Adam Cole's dad.
Yeah,
it was perfect.
Like Daddy's home. Like I don't know.
It was something like that.
Something funny.
Then you think we're gonna get a storyline one time, in 5-10 years, whenever Adam Cole makes up to the main roster,
if they want to.
No, but do you think they're gonna do it?
I don't know. They could tease it.
I don't mean tease it, Mike. I mean, do you think do you think that eventually, at one point, they will have a Michael Cole as Adam Cole's father?
I can't say no to any idea of that.
So you're saying yes. You're everything. What was that song that Lewis wrote? It was everything but no. Was it yes?
Well, I didn't say no, so take it how you will.
Okay.
I can't say no. I can't say no to anything in WWE.
It's definitely not in WWE. Within Vince McMahon's lifetime, will there be a Michael? It's possible.
But let's get to the Universal title match, the new blue title. So we got The Fiend defending against Daniel Bryan here, but the red light's still here. It's not blue light, but. No, this was, I'd say this was probably The Fiend's best match so far. I liked it. Daniel Bryan, he embraced the yes movement. He went full-on babyface, and unlike Rollins, the crowd was into him, and he only hit one running knee finisher, so he only got kicked out of once, so it didn't make him look ridiculous. And he goes for a second running knee later, but Bray catches him in the mandible claw, which knocks Bryan out. The Fiend wins, but yeah, Bryan's just such a good babyface. He had people booing The Fiend, and he's one of the most popular characters.
Yeah, it's and Daniel Bryan can work with anybody. We know that.
Yeah, like this is a 7-minute match, but it was just good. He had you believe him for a second when he hits that knee, and yeah, just fun stuff.
And the yes movement is back, like we just said. I think.
Yeah,
so
he embraced it. The crowd was loving him.
I think the next pay-per-view is TLC in early December. I think.
Yeah, a couple weeks from now.
So maybe these two are gonna dance again, as it were.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, and I don't know. We need an opponent for The Fiend either way.
Either way,
Brock might not be there.
Well, no, he's on Raw. Brock's on Raw, so that's okay now, right?
No, I mean at the pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, okay.
I mean, Brock might not even defend his title.
Probably not. Probably not.
Unfortunately. But yeah, let's move on here. One of the matches that I thought could have been the main event, but it's right here, the men's Survivor Series match. But I got to say, the biggest bullshit of this match happened at the very beginning when the crowd is going super hot for Walter. He's in there. He's having a couple spots. And then he gets eliminated within the first 2 minutes.
The bat.
And the crowd did not like that. I didn't like that. I don't know. Not a good look, but everyone still loves Walter. But yeah, most of this match was pretty fun. Rollins was the most hated man in the room.
Every single time he was just he was making it just reminds me of 2 years ago Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
it's that same thing. It's like anytime he does any offense, people either boo or don't react at all.
Yeah, Randy Orton and Ciampa had some good exchanges. They seem like they could have a really good feud down the line somewhere. And Keith Lee, of course, he was super over. Mustafa Ali, he had some good shit, and Rollins eliminated him, which got one of the biggest chorus of boos. Just Rollins, like you said, doing anything. And of course, we have to every Survivor Series match, someone has to turn on each other. So Corbin and Roman, they go at it, and Corbin's eliminated because he gets Superman punched or something.
It was something like that. I think he got Superman punched over the thing.
Yeah. And then eventually it comes down to Seth Rollins left for Raw, Roman Reigns for SmackDown, and Keith Lee for NXT. And Rollins, he even started healing it up near the end of the match. He's like, I built NXT. I'll tear it down.
I'll burn it down.
Yeah, and then he goes for a curb stomp on Lee, but Lee catches him and hits this Death Valley jackhammer move and gets the 3 count on Rollins. So that's a huge moment for Lee. Crowd was loving it. People are going nuts now. So it's just down to Keith Lee and Roman Reigns, and they had a good back and forth. I think Lee even kicks out of some Superman punches. And then he goes for that moonsault off the second rope, but Roman avoids it, hits a spear, and picks up the win for SmackDown. But good match. Keith Lee looks like a star even in the loss.
Yeah, I can't remember the last match I enjoyed where Roman Reigns was the last one there. One there. Yeah, you're right. I mean, the Walter elimination, you just couldn't believe that. I feel like NXT
Yeah,
UK,
I was excited when they announced the team, like, oh, Walter, he might be one of the last guys in the match, but nope.
I mean, it's probably been over a year since like Walter's even lost a match.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever been pinned like on anything
like,
to do with NXT.
And even he can be like eliminated second, just not first.
Yeah, and like the crowd was so into it. They were chanting Walter right to start the match, and yeah,
it's too bad.
Took it away from us.
Too bad, but there you go, Roman. Yeah, I don't know. Did you see Roman Reigns? His logo looks different now. Have you seen that? So remember, it used to be like
on his vest?
Yeah, on the vest it kind of looked like that little shield looking thing, right? It was kind of like squiggly lines
with like a double R.
Yeah, and then they put like a silhouette of him in a Superman punch pose.
Oh,
in the middle, but now it's a outlined face of the like the big big dog graphic that they have. Now it's now it's one of the things like that. So folks, keep your eye on WWE.com, WWEshop.com. If you want to pick up your latest Roman Reigns merch. Let's move on. Yes. Let's move on to
Use
the next
the promo code Shoot Brothers.
Use the promo code Shoot Brothers for 35% off your Roman Reigns t-shirts.
Yeah.
And Roman Reigns hair grease. You buy 3 shirts and get a can of Roman Reigns hair grease.
Slab of that
for free.
Dapper Reigns.
And you'll always look like you just got out of the shower.
Yeah.
Hoo-ah. Let's move on to the next match because Brock Lesnar's back.
Yes, this was one of my most anticipated matches of the night. Brock Lesnar taking on Rey Mysterio. No holds barred for the WWE Championship. Because I was a believer. In this match, they had me believing. Right away, Rey goes for that pipe, but Lesnar blocks him and starts tossing him all around the ring. Until our boy Dominic comes out, and he's got the towel. He's ready to throw it in to save his father, but Brock grabs him, and he's ready to beat him up. And then Rey sneaks up behind, hits a big low blow. And then Dominic hits a low blow, so everyone's going nuts.
Everyone's going nuts.
Yeah, Rey starts beating the shit out of Brock with the pipe. Dominic nails him with a chair. And then they hit a father and son, double 619. Dominic goes to the top rope, hits a frog splash. Rey hits a frog splash. They both pile on Brock for the pin. Crowd's going wild. I was going nuts. I thought this was it. They had me worked. Brock kicks out at 2. I'm like, fuck. And then Lesnar recovers. He tosses Dominic away. Rey tries to jump onto him, but he's caught, and he eats an F5, and Brock gets the pin to retain the title. But this was fun, very fun, 6-7 minutes, whatever it was. I thought Rey should have won the title here. The crowd would have exploded. Would have been one of the biggest moments of the year.
It would have been huge if Dominic...
I was believing. I believed when he had that double team 619 frog splash. I thought this could be it.
And the double team was just kind of a fun, the double team angle is fun and just had, the family implication there.
Yeah.
It would have meant a lot, and it was great. It's great to see all these Brock Lesnar matches that we always see at Survivor Series. Are always these matches.
He just fights a little guy, and it's always a lot of fun.
Where it's not just kind of 5 or 6 F5s.
Yeah, because they give you hope. They make you think the
exactly.
Little guy might win.
Brock Lesnar will sell for smaller dudes.
Yeah.
For whatever it is. When Brock wants to put on a good match, he can put on a good match.
Yeah. So it was fun, but who knows? Who knows where Brock goes from here?
Mm-hmm. Who knows where Rey goes? Who knows where Dominic goes from here?
Well, we'll find out.
Is Dominic gonna turn heel on his dad?
I hope not.
Are we gonna see more 619? See, that's what I'm saying. Bring Dominic in.
We'll see. Either way, he's shown he can do a couple moves. He can take some bumps. So we'll see what the kid's got. But surprisingly, I didn't think this was gonna be the main event. But we had the man Becky Lynch taking on Bayley, taking on Shayna Baszler.
Have you noticed? So Bayley, the new Bayley, she's a belt carrier. She's not a wrap it around her waist. And I don't know if you've
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, Mike, but the new outfit, the way
yes,
it says Bay and now on one line, and then Lee on the other side, right? So the BAYLEY, so of course the B and the L line up vertically, the L and the Y line up vertically, and also the A and the E would line up vertically, right atop a big shiny W.
Yes, so I did see that. She was wearing it around her neck for a while, but she did actually wear it around her waist for this pay-per-view here.
And right in front of all of us,
AEW.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know. This match, I thought it was in a tough spot. You know, right after everyone wanted to see Ray win and he lost, the crowd was kind of sucked. The air was sucked out a bit, and this match never really got going too much. I don't know. Yeah, it just didn't. You know, right near the end, it started to get exciting, and then it just kind of suddenly ended when Bayley goes for an elbow drop off the top, and Baszler catches her in the Kirifuda clutch, and Bayley taps out. So fucking stupid Shayna Baszler wins the main event. And then afterwards, Becky just hits a leg drop through the announce table onto Shayna. I was thinking maybe Ronda Rousey might show up here, and that's why they put it on the main event, but it did not happen.
Yeah, no, you're right. It certainly the crowd was gone after that very quick Brock Lesnar match. Somehow the crowd was gone. And
the match itself just wasn't too, nothing too over the top happened, nothing too memorable.
And having Shayna Baszler go over also.
Yeah, exactly. Like Becky didn't eat the pin. I didn't think she would, but yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, the final score was 4 points for NXT, 2 for SmackDown, and only 1 for Raw. Ooh. So NXT gets a strong win, which I did like.
We did. I think we thought that we thought that could happen too. Just let them run wild.
Yeah, I feel like at the end it did end up feeling like a more meaningful Survivor Series in like the past 2 or 3 years or whatever. Like NXT winning at least puts some focus on them. People are going to tune in to see. Adam Cole, I'm sure, made a lot of new fans.
Hopefully, yeah. No, we'll be really curious to see what these Wednesday Night War, numbers will be, because last week's NXT beat AEW for the first time.
Yeah, it was another close one, like when AEW narrowly beat them that 1 week. Now and NXT narrowly beat them, but they're going steady. We'll see. This week's number will definitely be intriguing.
Because of course, with like the Survivor Series build-up, you can only bring Roman Reigns on your show once, and they just kind of did that, right? Now we're back to it being NXT.
Yeah, now there should be no more invasions for a while.
Yeah, now we're back to just like the way it was.
But people,
what are you gonna say?
Yeah, now people will be like, "Hey, that Keith Lee guy, I should check him out," or things like that. Rhea Ripley, I want to see her.
Exactly. So. Yeah. That I want to see more of William Regal. Regal made his face present, of course, when he was
the only good general manager.
The best.
I mean, the only general manager, really.
The best GM there is in the whole.
He only comes in when he's absolutely needed, when chaos is out of control. So he's like, "Fuck, you want chaos? I'll give you chaos. War games.
War games." When he's doing crazy shit like that. Got a new title!
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Speaking of new titles, I forgot to mention that the Intercontinental Championship was,
yes.
Probably the only title that didn't need a redesign, but the new one actually looks fine. But yeah, the Intercontinental title was legendary.
It looked so cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So if that was the U.S. title replacement or something else replacement, but anyways, whatever. We got a new belt.
I also
looks kind of like NXT style.
I also read somewhere, or I was reading an article somewhere that it was Cody Rhodes who brought in that white title.
Yeah, well, he brought it back.
It back. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, and apparently that I've heard that the design for that version of the Intercontinental title, like WWE didn't create it, so they've like paid for the license to use it or something. So
like
they wanted
the current
original.
The current.
No, the white one they just got rid of.
Yeah, so what I read was it was bits and parts of an interview with Cody where he said that he wanted to bring it back, and so he had to like go to a belt designer spend his own money and make it, and then bring it to the pitch meeting of like, this is what this thing should look like. And he said, of course, like WWE reimbursed him for the money he spent, but you know, he was passionate about bringing back this old design.
Yeah, maybe Nakamura did the same thing. Maybe he had brought in a bunch of money and got a rebelt.
Yeah, it'll take some time.
I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? I forget what it looks like. That's kind of the thing.
It's kind of generic. It's just black and gold
with some gold in there. Where at least you know, like the big.
It's not a big W, which is nice.
Which
it almost looks kind of like the cruiserweight title, but just like black and gold instead of purple and silver.
No, I feel. See, yeah, it looks a little bit different. Maybe it's going to take up some time. Yeah. Does that mean they're changing the U.S. title also?
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, the U.S. title's not that exciting.
Because I feel like at least, you know, we had our 2 heavyweight belts that looked the same, but, you know, slight differences. And then we had our 2 mid-card belts that they were their own thing, you know, the American flag belt and the white belt.
Yeah. Yeah, no, every other belt matches, like the tags, the women's,
I guess
the heavyweights.
We just got to get used to it. That's all it is.
I don't know. We'll
it's
see.
like, you know,
Either
it's
way.
like they put sponsors on NBA jerseys now. It's like, fuck. If you asked me 4 years ago, I would have said this is going to be the worst thing ever. But now, I don't know, they look okay. They're not terrible.
So here's the thing. Yeah, if you were buying a jersey, would you want the sponsor on the jersey?
That's the thing. So I think some of the sponsor logos actually look pretty good. Or like some of them look a lot better than others. Of course, like a Bucks jersey just with the Harley Davidson patch there, that's a little bit weird. But like the Cleveland Cavaliers logo or their sponsor is Goodyear, which is so it's just kind of that foot with the the little wings that are coming out of it. Yeah. And it's in like a nice color scheme, and you're like, oh, okay, that doesn't look bad. But having
Sun Life, right?
Yeah, even Sun Life, it doesn't look. You know, it's a small logo. It's not terrible. Would I want Bumble on my jersey? Maybe not.
Why doesn't Drake sponsor our team instead?
Just
the OV logo.
Or just have the little
gold owl or whatever.
The little owl, yeah.
Yeah, that would look nice.
That would be
gold because we're champions. So
it'd be a little bit easier, right?
Yeah, but anyways, that's an interesting.
There you have it. Yeah, there you have it. I guess that we had a belt change, no title changes, and just a great fucking weekend of WWE stuff. Yeah,
overall everything was pretty fun.
Everything was pretty good. Mike, I think it's about time we take a quick break.
Yes, let's quick break.
Folks, we're going to take a break. We're going to take a quick body break. We're going to come back. We have trivia. We have a tweet of the week, and of course Monday Night Raw just happened. So stick around.
Let's shoot. Yeah, let's shoot. Yeah, let's shoot. Brother, yeah, let's shoot. Yeah, let's shoot. Yeah, let's shoot. Brother, yeah.
Hey, folks, we're back.
Hi.
We're back for the second half of the show. The peanut butter 2-hour jelly. Let's kick the second half of our show. Or jam. I don't know. Yeah. Is that like a napkin serviette thing?
No, I think there is a real difference. I won't explain, but I find
I'm gonna say one is.
I feel like jelly's more American and jam is.
I was gonna say jam
is natural.
Is more. I picture more of a consistency. You know, like you're getting seeds in the jam.
It's like honey versus honey sauce.
I've never heard of honey sauce ever.
Well, when you get honey from McDonald's, it says honey sauce on the package.
Okay, so this is McDonald's specific, is what you're saying.
So when me and Michael Jordan are splitting our 20 packs. We love to slam dunk in some honey sauce. It's delicious. But anyways, trivia is why we're here.
Trivia. Woo! Trivia. Woo! Mike, I have 4 honey-related questions for you. How many honey-related questions you got for me?
I have 3 that may or may not honey.
May or may not have honey. Mike, I got 4. You got 3. We're gonna hit you with the old Big Mac. The
combo.
The old double Big Mac. Today, Mike, for you, I have War Games trivia.
Oh, okay.
War Games, of course, premiered in the first ever War Games match was in 1987, which is kind of fun.
Way back.
Way back under the end. It was with NWA at the Great American Bash. My question for you, Mike, who is credited with creating the War Games match type? I have 4 options for you.
Okay.
So first, we have Jim Crockett, we have Dusty Rhodes, Paul Ellering, or Fitz Von Erich.
I'm going to say it's either Crockett or Dusty. I'm going to go Dusty.
Dusty it is.
Yes.
Of course, the match was put under NWA and Jim Crockett Productions, so he would have been kind of at the top. Dusty Rhodes, it is.
That's why you almost had me with the
and also,
either way.
And also, one thing I didn't know is that the first match type. This is more just fun fact for everybody. It was originally called War Games: The Match Beyond, and the War Games part is until the cage closes and the match actually starts. Then it becomes the Match Beyond.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's just a little bit for you.
I like that. All right. Well, speaking of cages, there is a cage around the War Games, of course, but that's not the only cage match type in WWE. Do you remember the name of the match where you have a cage made out of bamboo?
Yeah, that's the the Jinder Mahal special.
You're on the right track.
Fuck. Oh my God. Yeah, I can picture the matches. It was him and the Ran Man, and there was another one with the Great Khali and Batista.
Yeah. Yes, you know the concept.
I can picture it and the things, and it also doesn't make any sense. The whole match type doesn't.
The match. There's never been a good one.
I remember now. It's the Punjabi prison match.
That is correct. There you go.
And those have been the only two, as far as you know.
There may have been a third one,
a dark match
either
or
way,
something.
they've all been awful.
Because isn't it something like
it's like two cages?
There's like two parts, and then if you don't get through the second part, you have to climb over.
It's weird. I don't know. Yeah, it's never been fun. It's never been.
It's never been fun. Mike, I got a question for number 2. Of course, Dusty Rhodes, the man who created the War Games, the Match Beyond match. My question for you is that Dusty Rhodes was inspired to create the match after he saw which 1985 action movie? This is not multiple choice, so you have to you got to think about it.
I'm gonna say I hope I get the title right. It's like Mad Max, the Thunderdome, something.
That is correct. Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Beyond Thunderdome.
Of course.
Okay,
so
yes.
he saw that movie, and a couple years later, put it into practice.
Have you ever seen that movie?
I have, of course. Yeah, Tina Turner's in it.
Is that the third Mad Max?
That's the third.
Movie?
Yeah.
So, Mad Max. They're all pretty fun.
It's where he has to save the kids.
Yeah. No, I do remember the big Thunderdome scene. They're on like bungee cords and like flying around this big cage.
Yeah.
This big freak monster comes out with a helmet on or something.
Yeah, and then they make fun of it in Rick and Morty. So there you go.
There you go. All right. So on the topic of War Games is unique for having 2 rings set up at once. But we have seen a match with 3 rings set up at once.
3 rings?
3 rings. This was in WCW.
Sounds about right.
Can you name the match and or the pay-per-view it was on?
Yeah, I'm going to say the match is called the thing that pay-per-view was on. You know what? I can picture... Oh, God. I can picture like a crazy... I might be picturing like a Ring of Honor thing where there's actually like cages on top of cages.
There were no cages.
Okay, so this is just 3 rings.
3 rings set up, and they weren't even... It was set up like a triangle, like one and then one on top.
Okay, so
they weren't directly beside each other.
3 rings. Maybe they called it something like 3-ring circus. Maybe they called it something like what year was it? Can I get a year?
This happened multiple times.
Okay, multiple times.
Recurring thing.
I'm gonna say try. Maybe they used the word try. Like a. I'm sticking with 3-ring circus. That's the best I got.
Well, you got I guess one part. It was called World War III.
Ooh, okay.
And it was a 60-man battle royal.
60?
And it was the rules were kind of weird. They would have like 20 in one ring and then the next 20 in another, and it was all weird, and I don't know, but yeah, 60-man battle royal.
But you were allowed to.
I think people could switch rings and shit, but yeah, the way they were set up, they were all connected at corners. I don't know, it was weird. But you can look up clips on YouTube if you want to see the craziness.
Okay, there you go.
So there you go. That was like their Royal Rumble, I guess, because the winner would either get a title or get a title shot. Anyways, World War III.
Okay. Okay, Mike. This is where the questions are going to start getting a little tricky in our latter half of our trivia right here. The question I have for you, I'm gonna give you out of the following, which two of the following stables / tag teams have been a part in the most War Games matches? I'm gonna give you a list of 5, and I'm looking for 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Just to give you context, there have been 9 official, like, non-house show War Games matches.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's what we're counting by 9.
Yeah, because like the War Games thing was brought in, and they would do it at the Great American Bash, which was like a week-long event. So they would just go like bam, 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 bam.
Okay.
And then like in the late 80s, and then they did the same thing at Fall Brawl in the in the early 90s. So we're not counting these because they were just kind of like.
Okay. I wouldn't know all that shit anyway.
But, okay, well then, fun fact for you. So out of the
That's good.
9, I'm looking for 2 of these 5 teams. Here we go. First, we have the Road Warriors. We have the 4 Horsemen, the NWO, the Undisputed Era, and the Midnight Express.
I'm going to go with the Horsemen and the Undisputed Era.
Baby, you got it. Both of them have been in 3 official non-house show War Games matches. And the Road Warriors were in 2.
All right.
And Midnight Express and NWO, I just goofed you on that one.
That was good. Fun goof.
Fun goof.
But you didn't get me. But let's see if you can get this one.
Okay.
We've been talking about cages and shit like that. So this match has only happened once in the WWE. We had a regular cage set up with a Hell in a Cell set up outside of it.
What?
And then you had dogs on the in between the 2 cages. These supposed to be ferocious guard dogs.
Were they like big old pit bulls or something?
I think they were like German shepherds. So you had a cage with a cell over top with guard dogs on the outside, but they had like handlers with them. Mm-hmm. But so, do you know the name of this match?
Can I get a year? Is it they only did this once?
Yeah.
Can I get a year?
I can give you a year. I'll tell you the opponents as well.
Oh wait. Oh, I will have to guess I have to guess the stip type.
Yeah. Just the name of the match.
Okay, the name of the match.
I've given you basically the gimmick.
I'm picturing Sergeant Slaughter's involved somehow.
It was Al Snow versus Big Boss Man.
Okay, and there's dogs around.
It was either 1998 or 1999.
Okay, so late 90s. I want to call it like a dog pound or a dog cage. Something like that.
Kind of.
But I don't know why
yeah.
Big Boss Man is in this match.
Well, there's a whole storyline. So the storyline was Al Snow had this little dog called Pepper that he would bring out, this little chihuahua. And then one day Pepper went missing. So it was like a couple week-long storyline. Al Snow's looking for Pepper. And then Big Boss Man takes Al Snow to some hotel room and he feeds him this meal. And then he reveals that he fed him his dog. So he killed his dog and fed it to him.
Oh my God, Jesus!
And
fuck.
that's where the dogs come in on the outside of the cage. And yeah.
Okay. So the dog.
So the winner to win the match, you have to get over the first cage, then you have to get through the dogs and get out the second cage.
Okay, so I think the dogs. Is really going to be part of the name here.
Yes, I'll say it's something to do with.
Yeah, I'm going to say the dogs have to be because there's a dog in the storyline. We have like a dog. Dog pound, dog cage.
Yeah.
Oh, what's it called when it's like you picture like the rows of dogs in cages? There's like a place. No, not a pound. I just said that. Not like a shelter. Maybe like shelter skelter. Oh, that's a good potential. Let's keep that.
That's a good name.
Let's keep that on the back burner because that would if they are looking for a stip type, they're looking for something. Kennel was the word I was looking for. Like maybe like the dog, the kennel, the kennel something.
I will say kennel is in the word.
No way. Oh my God, I'm so close. I'm so close.
I was rooting for you on that kennel.
I'm so close. Kennel. And by the way, no, Shelter Skelter.
Shelter Skelter is a great name. If they ever bring it back.
Kennel, and it's gonna be kennel. Wait, I'm trying to think of another like another dumb wrestling pun that
Well,
they could kind of make with that.
So we've got.
I'm so close. I could feel it.
You are close.
Oh my
Think
God.
of what else is in. So you got the dog part.
Yeah.
What else is involved in this?
No, it's not going to be. It's not going to be as silly
structures.
as like kennel cage match. That doesn't sound. Oh. It's. Oh my God. There's a cell around it, right? Is it called like Hell in a Kennel?
It's very close to that.
Okay, it's very close. Kennel in hell. Kennel in a cell.
So close.
God, fuck. Okay, kennel in a hell cell. Oh my God.
Kennel something hell.
Like a kennel from hell.
Yes.
Oh my
Kennel from
God.
Hell.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Kennel from Hell match. One time only. You can find clips. It's
Kennel
pretty-
from hell.
The dogs just kind of ended up like pissing and shitting and trying to hump each other. They didn't.
Are you serious?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, I gotta find this clip.
Like you would, they should have got like a Hollywood dog that could like
you think
train,
they would have gotten
bite
trained
someone.
dogs, but no, they just
Yeah.
probably like went to the kennel.
Yeah, they're just like, I pick up a couple, German shepherds or something, whatever. Yeah, so the match was a disaster. People always shit on it if it ever gets brought up, which doesn't happen too often.
Ah, that's too funny.
But it's one of those things. It's fun to get out there on the show because we may call back to it one day.
We may call back to it. I want to check this out. I can't believe I got there.
You got there, yeah. Once you had kennel, I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
Hell in a kennel.
the death row for
A
dogs.
kennel in a cell. Kennel in yeah. That was good. Yeah, Shelter Skelter coming up soon.
Yeah, but so that was my last question. You got one more for me?
You know what? I'm gonna forego this question because I'm looking over again and like there's no. It's way too. it's way too hard. Like I learned this information today.
Yeah. Well, just throw it out just for fun. I want to see.
It was going to be the hardest question. 1987. Who was a part of the first War Games match? Yeah, it was.
How many men were there? 8?
It was 4 and 4. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it'd probably be too much.
Yeah, no,
would just
I
be
think
throwing
I
names
think I
out
was
there.
kind of like making up questions. I also learned that
fine.
the first ever War Games match though at the Great American Bash was the
Sting?
no. Excuse
I already
me.
lost.
The Road Warriors, Nikita Koloff and Dusty Rhodes beat the Four Horsemen in the very first.
Okay. Oh yeah, it was NWA. You said.
Yeah,
All right.
in old NWA times. There you have it, folks. That was our trivia. That was a pretty fun round of trivia. I gotta
Yeah,
say.
fun stuff. Good stuff.
I gotta say, well, trivia's over. Survivor Series is in the rear view, and I think it's about time. We just gotta start off our wrestling week. Let's kick it off how we always do with the tweet of the week. It's the tweet of the week. It's the tweet of the week. I'm always scouring on Twitter. I have a burner account just so I can.
Some weeks it's easier than others. Sometimes there's, if Seth Rollins or Randy Orton's having a busy week, they'll.
Yeah, that's pretty much all. It's if you ever need like a pick me up of trying to find good Twitter or something, just pull up the Rand Man. He has a good Instagram account too. Oh, unrelated. And I'll tell you off mic, just because I think it'd be weird. I found the Green Shirt Guy's Instagram account.
Yeah, does it say anything about him? Or like-
No, just every single one of his photos is just his posts
like
from
his
his
view
view.
from
Yeah,
the-
I'll
asshole.
tell you his account off mic. I was super excited when I found that. I was actually really excited.
I might DM him and be like, "Hey man, what's your story?"
Yeah, I know everybody in
Maybe
the
we can
comments.
get him on the show.
Everybody in
Maybe
the
we can-
comments section are all like, "You're such a nice guy. Nice meeting you." So I have no clue what's happening. Anyways, we're moving on.
Okay.
This
I wanna know.
this week's tweet of the week came at me because it's bringing heat. It's bringing
the heat.
some heat this week. This I think this is actually first time tweet of the week champion. I'm just trying to look over. First time tweet of the week champion. Heading out to Corey Graves. WWE Graves, where Mike, you may have heard of this during the War Games pay-per-view. Corey tweeted out, "Just for the record, guys, I know you wouldn't know it, but there's actually a WWE Hall of Famer and a former Ring of Honor champion on commentary. I'd imagine they have a lot to offer."
Yeah, which was pretty stupid to begin with.
So I guess Corey Graves just pulling heat at Mauro Ranallo, of course. One of the better commentators on the planet, I think.
Yes.
When it comes to combat sports. Did you notice? Did you feel maybe that Mauro was talking too much, or you know what? I'll be honest.
I don't ever feel like he's. I feel
Never,
like he's great at what he's doing. I don't want him to ever feel like he's limited in what he can say or do, because I think he has a lot more freedom than people on the main roster. And maybe that's a point of contention for Corey. He's a little jealous that Mauro can say whatever he wants, make all these crazy references.
The
crowd's chanting "Mamma Mia." People aren't chanting Corey Graves. People love Mauro Ranallo.
Yeah, what does Corey Graves say? That that's enough.
Just says, "Shut up, Saxton." That's all.
You know what? I certainly, while I was watching the show, I did not notice.
No, I didn't notice anything egregious. Or I did notice the next night when Mauro Ranallo wasn't there, and then Michael Cole made up the fake excuse that he blew out his voice.
Was Mauro Ranallo supposed to be?
He was supposed to be calling all the NXT matches for Survivor Series.
Really? I guess
that was the whole thing. So this was the controversy, was that Corey's comment, because Mauro Ranallo has his bipolar and his depression and all those difficulties. So sometimes a little thing like that could be enough to set him off. And he couldn't do the show because of it, I guess. And there was a lot of heat on Corey Graves. Dave Meltzer was very pissed off about it. Pissed at Corey.
Shit, I didn't hear the aftermath. I just saw the tweet.
Yeah, and just saying, like, the tweet itself is not necessarily that malicious, but as a coworker with someone with those difficulties, Corey should kind of know better than to publicly throw him under the bus or whatever he was trying to do.
Yeah, whatever he was trying to do, which is the weird part, right? Like, what do you gain from that? You're literally gonna have to work with the guy the next day.
Yeah,
right. Presumably to call those matches.
Sitting beside him for some of these matches, but.
Corey Graves is bringing the heat.
Yeah,
maybe it's a total divas thing.
I don't know. With the Mauro stuff is real. So
we're trying to get but we're back. Okay, so we're back. Let's move on. Let's move on. Of course, that's your Tweed League champion, Corey Graves. Way to go.
Well, okay.
Wait, what are you saying?
No, okay. Go for it.
Monday
Night Raw.
I was just moving on, of course, folks, because it is Monday Night Raw.
Let's get raw. Let's get
raw. Brand supremacy is over.
Raw was the big loser of the night.
Any personal any disputes that may have been are now maybe a little bit personal.
Yeah, so
we're back on Raw. So
let's have a town hall.
Let's have the old Raw town hall, of course. I thought only Shane McMahon was allowed to host these, but apparently,
as they're calling him, the locker room leader, Seth Rollins, who the crowd is booing before he can even speak.
Wait, who's calling him that?
I think the commentary said, but
clearly they've never been in the locker room, have they?
Yeah. So the crowd's booing. They start chanting CM Punk, and then Rollins replies. He says, "Hey guys, I tried to get him here, but he didn't show up. He wants to sit behind a desk in LA." So, but he says, it's not about him. It's about the Raw locker room. And then he just starts going around the ring, saying everyone sucked last night. He calls out Randy Orton, says, "You're a weak link." So Randy walks off. Then he calls out Charlotte, saying she was supposed to be a leader of her team, and she couldn't even be the last survivor. And he's like, "You call yourself a Flair?" So she walks off. She's all pissed. He calls out AOP. Eventually he's losing the whole locker room before our eyes. He calls out Rey Mysterio, says he let us down more than anyone. So that gets the biggest heat of all. He's like, "I beat Brock twice this year. You couldn't even beat him with your stupid kid helping you out
with a lead pipe or something."
Yeah, so he's going full on heel now. He's just leaning into it. The crowd's giving him the heat, but I noticed Becky Lynch wasn't out there for him to call out for losing her match. So that would have been the ultimate heat seeker.
Well, yeah, that would have been a little weird, I guess they're still trying to play with it, So Seth's turning on us.
Yeah, so
thank God.
This is probably the best promo he's done in months because he's a little bitch in real life, so why not be a whiny bitch?
He got to at least be the character that that would be the person that he's acting like.
So everyone walks off except for Kevin Owens, who just gets in the ring and gives him a stunner. So that'll be your match for later on tonight.
That's going to be our main event.
Yeah, I like what Rollins did here. Just if he's, might as well go with it. What they didn't do with Roman Reigns, turn Rollins heel.
Yeah, just turn him.
We want to boo him, and he's being a bitch, so let him be the bitch. But yeah. Anyways, the hot angle continues because backstage, Rusev tries to enter the building, but then he's served with a restraining order, so he can't be here tonight. And then, so that leads to Bobby Lashley coming out with Lana, and he's taking on Titus O'Neil. But during the match, Rusev comes running through the crowd, beats up Lashley, and then the cops come out and handcuff him. But he's still able to shoulder tackle Lashley off the stage. So, got to get those YouTube hits. That's why they're doing it.
I was just about to say this was like the first good segment of this entire feud. It felt like
So it was less talking
because nobody was talking. Yeah, the crowd was behind Rusev. Bobby Lashley, yeah, Lashley and Lana were kept away from the microphone.
Yes,
And it kind of left a lot to go. A lot to go in this feud.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we hate the feud, but at the end of the day, people are still going to pop when Rusev finally does win.
But when?
I don't know.
We need to figure this out with a table match for some reason.
TLC, hang the divorce papers from the...
Oh, don't say that.
I don't know.
Don't say like that. We're going to get a 29-minute main event, divorce papers in a briefcase match.
Put on the pre-show. The first ladder match never be on the pre-show.
It's still 30 minutes, though, for some reason.
But then we get AOP are finally ready to fight, taking on the tough opponents of Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. But no, tag division could always use more teams, so it's good to have AOP here, and of course they get the easy win.
Was this their first match since their backstage
Since
promos?
The promos, I think so.
Cool.
At least on the television. And then we get another quick match: Akira Tozawa versus Andrade. Andrade gets the easy win with his hammerlock DDT, and Sin Cara has disappeared because he asked for his release. Which poor Catalina, she gets screwed more than anything.
Oh man, now she's out of a job.
We don't know. We don't even know.
We don't even know who she was in the first place. It could have just been like Io Shirai or something. I bet it was Io Shirai. Now that I'm thinking about this,
I don't know.
I bet it was Io Shirai.
That Catalina had a big ass. That's all I know.
Jesus Christ, Michael.
Back, so AOP was gone from the dark room, so that's why Aleister Black was able to occupy it.
I think it's just one dark room. It's like a Big Brother, camera situation. Yeah.
So he's back there. He cuts a promo on Buddy Murphy for knocking on his door last week, and his presence in the arena just tells him that he's picking a fight. So, and then we get a bit of a surprise next because Matt Hardy comes out of nowhere. And he's,
pulling back the clock.
Yeah, he was wearing his classic Hardy gear rather than the broken gimmick, but he still had the hair, and he was doing delete. But anyways, Matt's back. He gets a little bit of offense in, but Buddy Murphy just hits him with a bunch of big knee strikes and picks up the win. And then Aleister Black comes out like he said he would, and he cleans Murphy's clock. And so I guess they're gonna have a little feud.
Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. I guess we're 2 weeks into this now, so that means a feud has to happen, right?
Hopefully. And then we get AJ Styles taking on Humberto Carrillo for the U.S. title. But on his way to the ring, the OC attack Humberto from behind, take him out. So then Ricochet comes out to check on him, and the OC's making fun of him, making all these superhero jokes. So Ricochet challenges AJ for the title. He says no. He only agreed to Humberto. So then Ricochet's new buddy Orton comes out. He wants a title match. Styles avoids that. Drew comes out. He wants a title shot. Rey Mysterio comes out. He also wants a piece of the action. So Styles is like, what the fuck? So Ricochet just says, all right, the four of us will fight. The winner faces you for that belt later. So Styles is like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, it was quick enough. It was way better than them just, when they throw in just you'll just see a little graphic at one point in the show, and then you're like, oh wow, there's a number one contender match for the US title.
Yeah, and no, having a guy like Randy Orton competing for it makes it seem like a bit of a bigger deal.
Exactly.
And Rey Mysterio as well,
and Ricochet.
Anyways, and Ricochet
and Drew. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, they're there. So, anyways, we go right into that match. One of my favorite parts was Drew and Randy just standing and having a chop battle, which McIntyre definitely got the better of him.
Yeah, he's got.
They were like some of the loudest chops I've heard. Right. Like just boom, like a gunshot. And Orton, the way Orton sold it, like he was trying to hold the pain back, and then he even looked at the ref. He's like, "Do you fucking see this?" It was funny.
Did you see him? Did he say that?
Yeah, he's like, "You see this shit?" And he like had an instant welt on his thing. But that was awesome. But Eventually, Randy hits an RKO on Drew, but the OC break up the pin. So back in the ring, Rey Mysterio and Ricochet go at it. Rey goes for a moonsault, which gets caught, but then he swings around, cradles up Ricochet for the 3 count to earn the U.S. title shot. And, they're not fooling around. They just jump right into that match. AJ versus Rey Mysterio for the U.S. title. Rey's a bit weakened, so AJ dominates early on, but Rey fights back, hits a 619, but then the ref gets knocked out, so Gallows and Anderson jump on, attack Rey. But then Orton comes out because he's a good guy now, and he takes out Gallows and Anderson. Mysterio hits a 619. Orton hits an RKO. And then Rey finishes with a frog splash just in time for the ref to recover and make the 3 count. So your new United States champion, Rey Mysterio.
Our new United States champion. Always fun to see. Always fun to see a belt
Fun
change.
match.
Yeah.
The crowd was hot for Rey still, and then Dominic comes out to celebrate with him. So that was a consolation prize for not winning that WWE.
It seems funny though that you know Randy Orton going full babyface now. Randy Orton maybe being the reason why Rey Mysterio is the U.S. champion right now.
He should have come out last night when Brock was fucking shit up.
Come on,
Anyways.
no, Brock would never take an RKO. I bet he has that in his fucking contract. Like out of all the things he has in his contract, one of them is like, I will never take an RKO.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
Let's see the books. Let's see the contract, Mike.
See the Bucks. I can't.
Where's AC? Can AC Dirt get himself some hands on some?
AC he's been gone for a while.
Some specific contractual information, because I'm sure listeners would love to hear some.
We can ask.
Some salary dirt, you know.
We'll try.
We'll try.
Let's get some women's action here. We get Charlotte Flair taking on Asuka. Good little match. Kyrie's trying to interfere on the outside, so Flair chases her off, but then she goes back in the ring, eats that green mist from Asuka, who rolls her up and gets the win. And I love the green mist still, and it looks great on Charlotte with that blonde hair just getting all greenified.
Like, how does the ref not notice at this point? You know, like
Well, she did cover. She hit it as she pinned her, and then she got out of there quick.
When the refs always come to, they're always like, both people are covered in green, and like the mat is covered with green. And then he's like slapping his hand down on the green paint.
Didn't see it.
What do we think it is?
It's just like some little capsule, I guess she bites into, and
yeah. But it has to be like it, because whatever it is, it's like safe. You know, maybe it's kind of it's like fake blood, but it's green.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
I'm just worried about Asuka. You know, like what if something happens?
What, like she swallows it?
I don't know. You said it. You said it, not me.
I think she's fine.
Okay.
This gimmick's been done before.
Let's move on. Let's move on to the next match. You know what? There was like barely any backstage shit. I felt like this whole
this felt like a pretty smooth flowing Raw.
Honestly, this felt very like it was almost like a Dynamite flow of just match, match.
Yeah. So then we got Eric Rowan taking on some jobber.
Mike, the shoot meter is buzzing these days, of course.
What's in the cage?
Eric Rowan comes down to the ring with the what's in the cage. Of course. Of course, Eric Rowan takes out this Kyle Roberts, local jobber. But Kyle Roberts, I think, got the closest thing to what...
Yeah, he peeked. He snuck a peek under that.
He knows what's under there.
And he was scared. Whatever he saw, it shocked him a bit. So, and Rowan was mad. You don't touch his cage, so he kills this poor guy and leaves with. We still don't get to see the creature, whatever's in there.
Whatever mystery they're building, it's probably not going to go anywhere. But Mike, I think we're 2 or maybe 3 weeks into this. Mike, what do you think's in the cage? Before you thought it was a rat?
Or some sort of
some kind of
creature.
rodent.
I was sticking with. I still think it's an
rat and
animal
rodent.
like that.
Okay.
Possum, badger. I don't know, something like that.
Okay, so something like that. You know what? I'm sticking with. I also haven't heard any new information to make me think otherwise. I'm sticking with the sheep mask still.
And you're sticking with the mask.
Sticking with the sheep mask.
You don't think it's something that's living? It's supposed to be living?
I wanna see. I need more. I need.
What if it was like a baby goat, and then it comes out, and everyone's like, "Oh,
it's like a little fluffy goat."
Little baby goat just jumping around,
having so much fun.
Like, how about this? They open it, you see the mask, you think it's just the mask, and then the mask falls down, and then the little baby lamb or goat comes.
Oh,
walking
like the goat was like smaller than the mask, and he fit in the mask.
just falls in front. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be. And then it's a face turn. Everyone loves Eric Rowan from now on.
Because he's
He becomes like Lamb Chops play along. He does a new little.
And he
like-
and when he was with Daniel Bryan, he was like the planet friendly guy, and now he's wearing
Yeah.
like leather and shit. Like this guy,
Yeah.
he's already turned heel as far as I'm concerned.
He loves heavy metal, so he's got to wear some leather.
Now he's eating meat
yeah.
and he's
whatever's in that cage.
driving his
Either
fucking
way,
Hummer.
at the very least, they have us. We want to know. We're intrigued.
Yeah, I think it's the hottest angle going right now.
Yeah,
It's the best thing since Who Killed Roman Reigns.
Yeah, Eric Rowan.
Eric Rowan
getting
is
some big
2 for 2,
storylines.
baby.
He's going.
2 for 2 right now. Let's get on
Keep
to
an
our main
eye on-
event. It's main event time.
Okay.
Let's stretch it out.
Yes, Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens. Yeah, match was all right. Both men are down on the mat at one point when the AOP come down to the ring and they beat up Owens, but they leave Rollins alone. So is this? Are they in cahoots with Seth?
Oh, I hope not, because that means we're going to see more of Seth. I want Seth to be gone for a little bit.
But at least if he's heel, it's better than what we got.
I guess at least, yeah.
But-
That's a good point.
Yeah, and he does. I think at the very end he hits Owens with a curb stomp. So I don't know.
And you know what? It's
That's-
it's a bit of a bummer to have a DQ main event finish. Yeah, who knows? Seth Rollins, AOP, that'd be fun. If is it maybe push Kevin Owens as our top babyface. I guess
It seems like for
like
now, that's
he's
the
next in line, right?
Yeah, the direction they're going. Like he squashed. He said that NXT thing was just a one night. He says Raw needs him more now than ever. It's kind of a shot at Rollins. So, yeah, Owens can be your top babyface. It was kind of direction they were going earlier this year when they randomly turned him heel for a bit, but then they turned him back. So now he's back on track.
He can
Everyone
turn
loves-
anyway, anytime.
Yeah.
He's just kind of go back and forth, and he'll be all good. He'll be all good. And
He'll
there
be
you
good.
have it, folks. That was our Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
Wasn't that fun? Wasn't that a good? That was a pretty good episode of Raw.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, it's been.
And, the invasion was over. It was back to just being Raw.
Mhm.
So, yeah, we did all right.
And we had a CM Punk line. So there you go. So there you go. He's set.
Yeah, exactly. He addressed it.
I wonder if that was a line. I'm sure the dirt sheets are telling us right now, but I feel like that was an ad-libbed thing.
I did see the dirt already. Apparently
yeah?
it was apparently Vince McMahon didn't like it, but then that could also be a work within the dirt. Sometimes there's worked dirt, People put out fake leaks.
The tilled soil, the worked
Yeah.
dirt.
Like when Jericho got worked at SummerSlam when Brock Lesnar split open Randy Orton's head. He thought it was real.
Oh.
But, I mean, it was real, but it was a worked shoot.
Oh,
But
okay.
Jericho thought it was a shoot, and he pressed Brock Lesnar backstage after. Got in his face.
Oh, and he was like, "That was unsafe. What you did."
Yeah, he's like, "Wow, could you do that?" Yeah, just split open. And he's like, "Well, that's what I was told to do." So, which was stupid.
And then Brock's, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Anyways,
Weird.
That's your story. But let's wrap it up with the final segment that we do, the most prestigious title on our show, the Wrestler of the Week.
It's the wrestler of the week, of the week. The wrestler of the week, of the week, of the week. The wrestler of the week, of the week, of the week. The wrestler of the week, of the week, of the week. The wrestler of the week.
It's been-
It is prestigious, and as we're wrapping up, as we're rolling to the end of the year, of course the shooties are coming up where folks at home you will hear our the official rankings of Wrestler of the Week between both Mike and myself.
Yes,
I do,
The Wrestler of the Year will be crowned.
and that will also well wait, is the Wrestler of the Year like
I think we just pick a Wrestler of the Year.
Oh, okay, it's not going to be like whoever you picked as Wrestler of the Week the most times.
I don't know.
That can be the consolation.
That could be another
the
award.
consolation
Well,
Wrestler of the Year.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Come around
Either
Shooties
way,
time.
or it could end up being the same. Either way, so.
Mike, I'm going to come in with my Wrestler of the Week. NXT did it for me.
Yeah, I think we probably have the same pick this week.
That's tough. That's tough.
We'll see. I don't know. You said NXT, so that's spoiling my pick a little bit.
I said NXT, and for the second pay-per-view in a row, going through tables from the top of a cage. Adam Cole, you are my wrestler of the week.
Yes, as mine as well. For that crazy bump and then coming back and having another great
match. And just being the leader and being, there is like just even watching on television the pop that he gets.
Yeah,
it's just
he feels like a big deal.
And we were a part of it that one time, right? Like Adam Cole is such a big fucking deal for
Everyone
NXT.
loves him. Everyone loves saying "baby." Everyone's loving
Even
and
the
he
boom.
elevates the rest of the men in the Undisputed Era
Boom.
just by association.
You know what? Yeah, let's give a wrestler of the week, Undisputed Era. Change him.
Adam Cole.
I'm changing my pick, Mike.
You give it to all of
I'm
them?
giving it to all of them. All four of
All
those
right.
guys played double duty, and in great matches. For them to have the third War Games match,
They went 3 for 4. Only one loss on the weekend.
only one loss in the weekend. How are they doing in the War Game? Because I guess they've done 3 now. Did they win their first one? Maybe.
I think they've won 1.
Okay, so they're 1-2 now.
Yeah, but who knows? That might be the last War Games match ever. I don't know. Who knows where they'll be a year from now?
Oh, well, they can't get rid of War Games.
No, I mean they might not be on NXT.
Oh, that's a good point. That's
the Undisputed Era. Yes, no,
Why don't
War
we
Games should
on
stick.
Undisputed Era.
there you
There you
go.
have it. There you have it.
Yeah,
The UE.
I was also an honorable mention for Io Shirai. She put a great performance on, and that moonsault off the cage was awesome.
See, before I picked Adam Cole, Rhea Ripley was actually my.
That's another.
Was actually
she
my
had
my second.
Either way,
NXT,
we were
you're fucking killing it.
They're killing it. I
you
think
rock.
at the end of the day, Survivor Series was a success.
Because of
Like the brand
NXT.
supremacy felt like. If any other brand had won, it wouldn't have meant anything. But NXT actually felt like it was meaningful.
Mhm.
So
yeah,
good for that.
NXT changed, it's gonna change something. That main roster. I wonder if people in the main roster, are kind of scared for maybe their jobs or something like that. Well, you have to think about it, right? Like we saw how many women were in that match? 6, I guess. Supposed to be 8, but we saw.
Yeah.
But we saw. I wonder if there may be other women lower on the main roster who are maybe thinking to themselves like, "Oh shit, I could never do some of these things that these other women are doing."
Yeah. Well, it's a stacked roster, so watch out.
It's a stacked roster. Well, folks, that's all the time we have for this week's show. Remember to rate, review, like, and subscribe to the podcast on all the things: Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Google Play, wherever you listen to shows. And we'll be back later next week. Of course, the wrestling world doesn't stop, as we know.
Yeah, we'll catch up with some AEW and did we talk about anything from Dynamite last week? I don't know what happened.
Who knows?
Oh yeah, there was the Diamond Dozen Battle Royal.
Oh yeah, we have a Diamond Dozen Diamond
So they're gonna
presented by Diamond Dallas Page to hand out. That's gonna happen on Wednesday. Tomorrow.
So it came down to MJF and who was it? Hangman Page.
Yeah, and then like Wardlow showed up or something.
Yeah. So MJF versus Page to get the Diamond Ring prize, whatever that means. We still don't know.
We still don't quite know what it means, but it's like 20 carats or something. That's what JR kept saying.
Yeah, 43 carats.
Oh, Jesus Christ, 43
Or no,
carats.
it was worth $43,000.
Okay, well,
so, something like that.
Make up your mind, JR.
Anyways, so whatever that is, whatever that ring means, we'll find out on our next episode.
On our next episode, when we have our AEW and our NXT and all of our other action, folks. Thanks for sticking around. We'll see you next time.